Hey, hi guys, welcome back, Saggies. All right, Sag, we're gonna ask what's changed. Okay, I just thought it would be fun. And when I say what's changed, I kind of also mean like what's grown, what's altered. My baby just popped up. We got a 3 of Pentacles in the upright. We got the 4 of Swords in the reverse, and we got the 5 of Swords in the upright. What has changed here, in my opinion, is that there's been a clear decision making process that some people we can work with and some people we flat out can't, and there is no sorrow over this. This is absolutely like someone who only wants to have conflict, someone who only wants to stir the pot. It's like, hey, that's on you, ain't my issue. I got no problem working with people. Some other people I can't work with, but it's not for my lack of trying, it's their issue. So if they consistently want to cause turmoil and problems, you know what? It'll be revealed. They'll probably cause turmoil and problems with every person that they encounter. And that's almost a relief because it's like, you know, I think that someone who starts out with this energy of the 3 of Pentacles, it's like, hey, I want things to go smoothly. That's what I'm all about. Then why isn't it going smooth? And I think for a while, our character, our Sag might have been like, is it me that needs to be more understanding? Why do I perpetually have to have conflict with this person? And now they're letting it go, going, no, it isn't me. It's the other person. It's someone who always wants to win. They don't want to compromise. They'll create situations just so that they can try to have a win. You know what? That's on them. Their behavior, everybody's responsible for their own behavior. And it's like, this is such a relief to somebody because I wonder if this Sag wasn't like almost judging themselves really harshly, almost telling themselves like, should I try to do more? Wow, we got the 6 of Wands and we got that 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is in the reverse. So our lead character here, what's changed is that they actually feel pretty darn good about themselves. The fact that either a friendship or a relationship ended, they're like, I don't have any regrets in this. I handled myself with grace. I handled myself with fairness. I tried to communicate or to to be present, to express. I was willing to cooperate. I'm not the reason this situation failed. So if there is an ending here, I'm not the one who has to walk away and feel bad about it. They probably are feeling bad about it, but I realize why. And if they keep trying to come back in and communicate, but it's always another argument, it's because they're trying to justify their own behavior. Again, that's on them. I don't need to justify my behavior. I behaved the way I would. And if I would say everything I said all over again, I would do everything I did all over again because I was collaborating and cooperating. Someone doesn't want to collaborate and cooperate, they just want it their way. So that's why it didn't work. That's on them. And I think that just sense of like, oh, okay, I'm not mad, I'm not upset. That's, I feel like I handled myself the way I should have. There are certain things. Oh, wow. 4 of Wands, and we got a Knight of Cups. This person has become very aware. Sag has become very aware in this storyline of what a true, um, cooperation looks like. What does a 4 of Wands look like? Where we all support each other. This could have been something more along the lines of like, a situation in the workplace or a situation within a family. I'm going to use this analogy because I think it's the best one. Sometimes when like teenagers get to that hormonal teenage time where they really are just sensitive, their feelings are all over the place. They're not super mature yet. And so they want things to be their way. They might be kind of petulant. They're grumpy. They're not being very fair. And they even know it, but they just can't seem to stop acting that way for a little while because it's just a phase. I think someone was dealing with a person, maybe they were dealing with a teenager, somebody who's just going through a phase. And it's like, you know what? I'm not the big meanie just because there's some rules that they're going to have to follow. And that's true of any interaction. We have our own, basically, like our own set of rules with any situation, an employer and employee. Each of them has their own expectations. An employee is like, hey, I want to be paid fairly for those hours. I don't want to be like mistreated, and employers like, hey, I need somebody who, you know, contracts to do the work and I can trust that they're going to care about the quality of work that they're putting out. You know, we both have to uphold the agreement that we made. Same is true in a relationship. I want to be respected, and in turn I want to respect you. If there is a problem, I want to work through things. But if somebody doesn't want to work through things, they only want to be right, that can, there isn't any like conversation or smooth dialogue. If it's working with a teenager, they don't care that they got in trouble and they can't go drive the car this weekend. They still want it. Well, that's not the way it works, because you didn't, you know, follow through with our agreement. And so whoever this is that our lead character was dealing with, Sag was dealing with somebody who kind of like a upset teenager still wants to get their way. And the Sag is like, no, I'm very sorry. That's not what an agreement looks like. This is what an agreement looks like. I said I do that. You said you do that. I said then I will do that. And you said then I will do that. That should be how we set things up. And if that fails, then you know what? The contract is null and void. So at this point, our Sag is actually they've actually got a really good look at the difference between why something didn't work out and their own actions that they wouldn't back down on. This is a character who says, no, I said exactly what I meant. I held up my end of the bargain. That's why I can feel good about myself and say, no, I did everything I said I would. It was them that wanted to change the terms of our contract and then still insist that they could have it that way. No, they cannot. This is just somebody advocating for themselves as to what a truly fair and balanced relationship looks like. And so they're moving on. What's changed is the Sag is like, that's all right. I'm moving on. Is it a little bit bittersweet? Possibly. But I don't think that this Sag is like wallowing in it. I don't think that they're, oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm so this, I'm so that. Whoever this was who just wanted to win, and we're not going to give them a bunch of time. Hang on. I got way too many cards. Like when I say way too many, I'm talking like way too many. So they all go back in. I don't think that our Sag this isn't a story about looking at, you know, past stuff. It's about what has changed. And because we have a card of moving forward for our lead character, that's the only thing I want to focus on in this story, because it's not about past people and reconciliations and all that. This is just kind of a quick little like, hey, what's shifted? Oh, the terms of a contract were not being met. Whether it was romantic or non, doesn't matter. The terms of a contract were not being met. I like the fact that our character is kind of looking at this whole situation from a non like romantic emotional context. They're putting it into like the same set of like, I guess I'll say they're using the same rule book to determine, hey, did this contract work between me and my kid, or me and my job, or me and my romantic partner? They're using the same set of guidelines so that it isn't this huge emotional, you know, distressing thing. It's just like, oh, this is just matter of fact. It didn't work. Here's why. Moving on. I like that. I like it's not a heartbreaker. It's not destroying anybody. They're okay with this, and they're moving on to much better. Empress energy. This could be someone who says, I'm aware that the way I conduct myself, I am a role model. Maybe this is someone who's like a parent, and they're like, you know, I'm glad I'm showing my kiddos what not to tolerate as well. I feel proud of myself that I set a good example of this is okay and this is not. I hold my head up. I walk with personal integrity. This is why I'm high value. This character feels proud of themselves for all the right reasons. It's really nice to see that going on for our character, that they feel good. Three of Wands, and it's all about their future. Their future is so bright. Saggy's entire life is, I mean, will there be other mountains to climb? Of course, but look at this gorgeous vista. They're looking up, right? Things are looking up. Things are looking brighter. Why? Because this character says, you know what? I'm an empress. You know, masculine or feminine doesn't matter. They feel good about what they have chosen to do, which was to remove themselves from a situation that couldn't really be worked through. They didn't squabble. They didn't make it a big old mess. They simply moved on. Their future is anything that they want it to be. This could be someone who's ready to work for a different company, ready to get involved with a totally different romantic partner, or maybe they're ready to just be single for a while and just focus on all of their hopes, wishes, dreams, and goals. Because let me put it this way, someone who's in Empress mode, masculine or feminine, they can do anything. They, when we have that self-respect, we go, you know what? I'm glad that I made the choice that I made. I'm glad that I put in the effort that I did, that I can walk away with no regrets because I know I was fair, I was balanced, and I also know that all I did was I held myself to a standard of I really want to work with someone where there can be compromise and where we really feel like we're coming to terms and we're all upholding the agreements that we made. If I can't do that, then I move on. I'm proud that I did that. And I'm proud that I live by that kind of code of conduct. And because I feel proud of myself, all of a sudden, it's like I can do anything. I can walk in and I know what my value is. I can walk into a new job and say, I would love to work here. This is what I bring to the table. I'm also an avid learner. I would want to work at a company that I can learn more at. That's why I would be your ideal employee. This is what I do know. This is what I don't know. And what I want is to learn the things that I don't know. So I'm super trainable. This is somebody who has no fears, no inadequacies. They know exactly who they are. And they also know that I'm also here to continually grow. But I start with this wonderful baseline of personal value. And then all I do is I can add to that. So this is somebody who, like, whatever career they want, I mean, they could seriously make a huge career jump because they really believe in themselves right now. They could wind up meeting the love of their life, the person that they want to marry, or they may simply say, truth be told, I'm not looking for romance at the moment. There's a whole bunch of other personal development that I feel like, I don't know. I keep looking at this boat and I keep thinking somebody wants to take some adventure in life. They've wanted to shake it up. Maybe they've wanted to change their entire life, and ending a connection with someone that it was, I think Leo got a message like this kind of also, where it was like somebody had gone through a bit of a test. And the test was simply to say, what do you really believe is true? Who really are you? And that's kind of a similar message here. Our character went through something where they looked at the facts, they identified who they were, they're proud of the fact that they say what they mean what they say, and that they can close chapters and move on toward other amazing things in their life. And that is giving them the confidence to say, you know what? Maybe I really could do anything. I've always wanted to try living in a different location. Maybe I could put in for a transfer and get a job in that other city, and I could do that big, brave, bold thing. I could go live in that. I've always wanted to live in, I don't know, we'll say Florida. I'm just saying that because there's a lot of water here. Why don't I go ahead and move across country? Why don't I move to a different culture? I mean, if I can get the job, and I'm sure that I can, why don't I take that transfer? My future looks like it holds adventure. I think that's more important than like romance. This is not the focal point for our lead character. Will they likely have romance? Yeah, and it'll be stable and long term because they're in Empress mode. But that's not what their real motive is. Their motive is to just like breathe easy and stand tall, knowing that they chose what was right for themselves and that they really feel empowered right now. They could do anything. Very much about like lovely growth, lovely change, and lovely confidence. And that's kind of the crux of this storyline, is somebody's confidence has gone way up because they really advocated for themselves. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you do enjoy my storytelling, please let me know you enjoy it by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Those are awesome pieces of feedback for me. It lets me know you like this and you want me to keep doing it, and then I will. So thank you guys. If you're new here, welcome. I am different in the sense that I'm actually a writer writing without a pen in this format. I am a storyteller. I'm not a psychic. I wish I had that gift. I do not. I have the gift of storytelling. So this is all fiction. It's if there's something like fun, some cool food for thought, to me, that's what entertainment is all about. And so I always hope that there's something, like a positive little nugget to take away. If not, click off. Don't watch free entertainment that gets in your head and gives you a bad day, right? I hope everybody chooses whatever is right for themselves in their lives. And thank you again for being here. Bye.